Hello, everyone. It's me, the Archfiend, and I was busy doing work and stuff. Um, and I'm like looking at my work papers today, and I'm just like, why don't I take a break from this? Because at work you get things like breaks. And during my break, I was like thinking about how much people are making fun of Idubbbz and his wife Anisa and Anisa's husband. Oh, I already said Idubbbz. And so, like, everyone online is making fun of them. And it's to the point where I'm like, why don't we just talk about something positive in relation to these guys? Because all everyone ever does is laugh at them and make fun of Ian. That's Idubbbz's real name. Because he poops his pants and he has bad breath and he doesn't shower. And I don't like it when people make fun of me for that. So I'm going to try and do them a solid because they're getting so many people upset at them and hating them. And I understand the accusations because I once tried to watch one of their live streams, and I always hear how people say, like, oh, such and such person has fake accounts watching them. They use bots to get views. And I totally am not about hearing that shit until now, because I was watching one of their podcasts with Anisa and her husband, and it said there was 138 people watching that shit. And there's no way 138 sound-minded human beings actually watch that. So, with that preamble aside, I, like I said, took a break from my busy day at work, and I compiled a list of five things that are better than Anisa and Idubbbz, because I don't think people realize there's things that are better than them because people are talking about how much they hate them. So, anyways, I made my list of 5 things. So let's go ahead and get to that right now. Number 5, we're going to count down from 5 to 1. That's why I said 5 first. Number 5 is Gulags in Russia. They were like a big thing during Joseph Stalin's reign, mainly in Russia. I mean, they existed after him as well. But Joseph Stalin would start these things called gulags in the Soviet Union, where, like, someone would be out on the street saying something like, I think Teddy Roosevelt was an adequate bowler. And then someone would be like, haha, I'm the KGB, to the gulag, you capitalist swine. And they would get locked up in a gulag. So, a gulag, and I did some research on this, a gulag has no casino. Not a single Soviet gulag had a casino in them. And honestly, having no access to a casino is better than anything dealing with Idubbbz or Anisa, because a casino, now, people have hobbies out there. People will be like, I collect baseball cards, I collect Barbie dolls. Well, you're an idiot, because a casino is a place where I could put down $20, get 20 to 1 odds, $20 on a 20 to 1 odd bet. You hit that, you're leaving with like 28-ish bucks or so. Can you put $20 on top of a Barbie and say, turn it into 28, bitch? No. All you get is a Barbie doll. That's a stupid hobby. What a waste of time. Anyway, having access to no casinos is better than Anisa and Idubbbz, which is what my very clear and transparent point was here. Number 4. Scantron tests. And I'm sure we've all been to school at some point. And Scantrons are those tests where like you have to go fill out A, B, C, D, or E, and you have to use the pencil to fill them out. And like sometimes there'll be like a written portion. And through school you take these Scantron tests, and then like in high school you take a SATs test. I don't know why it's called a SATs test. I think it's because you sit down for a long period of time. But anyways, even on a SATs test, you have to fill out like a Scantron. You have to use the pencil, and it always says use a number 2 pencil. So check this out, right? Imagine you take one of these tests and you use a number 1 pencil, right? Like, I don't think like scientists have ever even tried this out. Maybe at like Harvard College they could like try it sometime. Like fill out a test like in a number 1 pencil and then like put it in the scoring machine. My guess is that like some sort of like nucleic reaction would happen and the machine would break, and like it might be like Chernobyl where like it melts through the ground or something. But that's my guess. But anyways, taking a Scantron test with the number 1 pencil is better than Anisa and Idubbbz. Number 3. I got it right. 3. Rainbows. All right, let's hear me out, man. Hear me out. I ain't doing no gay bash or anything like that, okay? Just listen to me. I have rainbow lights blinking in here. I'm pro-gay. Hello? Anyway, rainbows, okay? I was always told about the colors that are in a rainbow. Red, orange, something, bluish, blue, indigo, and violence. Now, I've heard of all those other words, and those are all actual colors, and I don't know why red is on there twice and why red ends the rainbow. But anyway, indigo, that isn't a real color. And people have always told me that's one of the colors of the rainbow, Archfiend. And I go, that can't be right because indigo isn't a real color. Because, like, have you ever had, like, a time in your life where you've said, like, oh, ma'am, what a very lovely indigo colored blouse you have on today? Like, what color do you want your car in, sir? Oh, I want my car to be the color indigo. It hasn't happened because it's fake. It's a fake color. So anyway, the fake color indigo is way better than Anisa and Idubbbz. So, number 2, I originally had the Karate Kid movie that was in China, but I didn't want to seem as discriminating against Chinese people. And I know how serious they take karate over there because it was invented there, obviously, or else they wouldn't have made the movie there. Hello. And Will Smith, his son is in that movie, and I don't want to hate on that movie because he would come over and slap me, and I don't want to get slapped by Will Smith. So I didn't want to anger the Chinese people by hating on their loyal karate and their kid movie. So I crossed that out and I just said French people. That's better than Idubbbz and Anisa. So before I get to the number 1 thing here, I have some honorary mentions that I would like to list off. I'm just going to bang through these real quick. My first honorary mention is that Karate Kid movie that was made in China. Pepsi. Those are both better than Anisa and Idubbbz. College football games that are bowl games that aren't for the national championship. Like, do you remember who won the 2007 Meineke Muffler Bowl? I sure do. No, I don't. You could like talk to someone that was in like the 2007 Meineke Muffler Bowl and be like, hey, did you know you were in that game? They'd be like, I was? And like, yeah, you actually won MVP in that game. And they'd be like, for real? Right? Moving along, Transnistria. I don't know what that is, but it's better than Anisa and Idubbbz. Windows Millennium Edition. That's better than Anisa and Idubbbz. And a broken rubber band. A rubber band pretty much only serves a purpose if it is like one whole connected piece. And once it's broken, what can you do with it? I'll tell you what you can do with it. You can take a walk over to the garbage can and throw it out. And that experience of taking a broken rubber band and putting it in a garbage can is better than anything to do with Anisa and Idubbbz. So, moving along, my number one thing that is better than Anisa and Idubbbz, stoic empathy. That is all.